friends, and welcome to Mariposa Homeschool. In today's video, we're going to go over my fifth graders homeschool curriculum. So stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Jatara, and on my channel, I like to show parents who are interested in homeschool or who are new to homeschooling that it is possible to homeschool your children if you work full time. And today, what we're going to do is go over the curriculum I have chosen for the 2023-2024 homeschool year. We have not started yet. We will probably be starting the first or second week of September. That's when I've scheduled us to start. So we're still on break. I do have almost everything, or probably about everything that we need to get started. And let's just get right into it. So the first thing I want to show is our math curriculum. So for math, what we chose this year is actually the Simply Good and Beautiful Math 3. We used Simply Good and Beautiful Math 2 last year, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. With Simply Good and Beautiful, or with the Good and the Beautiful, their math curriculum is free. You just download it online, and you can print it for free. You can purchase a physical copy, but we choose to go the free route. I just print a couple weeks at a time, and that works out great for us. I do appreciate the fact that it is a free curriculum to try to keep the cost down, but we just print it. I did laminate a few things. There's a couple reference sheets in here that we will be using. This is a metrics reference sheet that we're going to be using this year, so I laminated that, and then it's just the references continue. So these two things we're going to be using that I laminated, and we just keep it in this binder. And my son loved math last year, guys. He is going into the fifth grade. But one of the things that I love about homeschool is that we can go back or go as slow or as fast in this curriculum as we want, and we really needed to take it back. Last year, I realized so many gaps in math, and I realized we're just going to go back to the basics. We went back to the Good and the Beautiful Math 2. It worked out amazing. My son went from hating math to loving it, and here we are, Good and the Beautiful Math 3. And that is what we're using for math. One thing I did forget to mention about the Simply Good and Beautiful math program is that for a few of the earlier grades, they do use a math box, which you can purchase through the Good and the Beautiful website. I did purchase the math box for grades 1 and 2 this year. What I decided to do was just to purchase the items that we needed and create our own math box. So I will have a separate video on how I create that math box for the Simply Good and Beautiful math curriculum. And if you see a little head pop up down here, I have a little friend down there coloring, so just so she doesn't scare anyone. Okay, so keeping with that same theme, for our language arts curriculum, again, we are using the Good and the Beautiful. This is their language arts program. Just like the math, it is free if you download it and print it online. This one is level 5. So we do use level 5, or we are going to be using level 5 this year for language arts and literature. One thing we do differently with the language arts program is it is pretty extensive, and we don't use every piece that comes with it. You'll see here that I take out some pieces and replace them with other workbooks and things like that. But for the most part, this is our spine for our language arts and literature. And this is also, again, by the good and the beautiful. I will be honest, I didn't want to like the good and the beautiful. When I first started homeschooling, that was the thing that everyone was using. That was the hot curriculum that everyone was using. And everyone wanted to use the good and the beautiful. Everybody was talking about that company. And I didn't want to use it simply because I just thought it was like a fad, a curriculum that everyone was using because it was popular and not because it was good. And I didn't want to use it. I didn't like it. I stayed away from it for a very long time until I tried lots of other things, and I tried it last, and my son kept asking for it. Again and again, he kept asking me to go back to it. So finally, I'm just like, you know what? It's working. He loves it. It is a good company. It's simple. It's open to go. So we've been sticking with it for pretty much everything. And you'll see here, there's another subject that we stick with the good and the beautiful, and it is really a good company. So if you haven't used it, it's a perfect company to give it a try, especially with the math or the language arts, because it is free. And so you can download it, try it out, you have nothing to lose. And our next subject that we're going to talk about is science. So, for science this year, we are doing 2 science units. Once again, this is our final subject that we are using the good and the beautiful. I let my kids choose our science subjects. So I just go on the Good and the Beautiful website online, and I just let them scroll through as long as it's within our um like our grade range. Then I let them choose what subjects they or what units they want to go through for science. So the first unit for science that we're going to do this year is paleontology. So this is the 3 through 8 science unit study for paleontology. With the good and the beautiful, you get one um like family book. So it's just one of these you need per family, and then one of these per student. So it's a student journal. I got the ages 3 through 6 since my son is in 5th grade. My preschooler, she does science with us as well, and she kind of sort of like, we let her do a little bit of stuff in here, like, if there's something to color or circle, my son will share his book with her too. So she does science with us too. So she's back there. So that's the first unit that we're doing, is paleontology. And then our second unit that we're going to be doing is motions and simple machines. So again, we got the 3 through 8 and a 3 through 6 student journal. If your children are above the 6th grade, you can get a student journal for 7th and 8th grade, and there's a little bit more challenging work for them to do in those student journals. So that is our science units for this year. We also do science with our co-op a little bit. So I'm not too science heavy. My son is also still in elementary school, so I'm not too heavy on science and history and things like that, just sticking to the basics for him. Okay, and our next subject we're going to cover is handwriting. So for handwriting, what we do is I get a simple little primary journal like this. And then what I do is I like to print. This is copywork pages. Right now we are copying Matthew. So what I have been doing for my son is giving him copy work such as this, having him, I usually like to write it on my whiteboard back here, and then I have him write it in his primary journal. The reason I have him write it in this kind of composition book is because the lines are wider than a normal composition book. And my son, for a very long time, struggled with handwriting. That was one of the things that we finally last year have really hammered down on and have finally gotten to a place on. And I feel like I don't want to slack on that. So we are going to be doing a little bit of handwriting with that. But he also has asked me this year to do cursive. So I did not want to move on to cursive until his print was good. I did not want to add any more to his plate with that. So this copy work I actually found online. I can't remember the website I found it on. It actually was probably Teachers Pay Teachers is where I found this. So this is what he'll be doing as far as copy work and his handwriting. And then we're going to be diving into some cursive. This is going to be his first year doing cursive, even though he is in 5th grade. And that is because he just really struggled with the handwriting. So we're just going to go to the basics and do some simple A, B, C's at first and see if he can handle that. And then we'll start doing sentences and things like that. From there, let's see, with the handwriting and the copy work, we also have a book on paragraph writing. So this is something that he did not enjoy doing last year in his Good and the Beautiful language arts and literature was the writing section. He felt like it took a long time. So I found this book on Amazon. It's Evan Moore, and he does tend to like Evan Moore. So we're going to give this a shot. This is new this year. It's paragraph writing. I did take a look inside of it before I purchased it to see, the layout. And it does look like something that, is pretty simple. And hopefully by the end, he will be more comfortable with writing some paragraphs. Okay, so for spelling, last year we used 180 days of spelling and word study for 3rd grade because we had never used that um, brand or that type of book before. So that's what we ended up going with this year, except we are using 4th grade. It's 180 days of spelling and word study for 4th grade. And my son really enjoys the way that this is set up, the repetition of the pages week to week, how they're very consistent. He enjoys doing this type of work with the spelling and the word study. So we're going to keep with this and keep doing it this year. And I believe those books only go up to 6th grade. And then next, we have Bible. So, of course, my son has his own Bible and we read passages out of his Bible. But when we do a little bit more in-depth study, we started this last year, this I Am 40 Reasons to Trust God. And we absolutely loved reading through these stories. We got about halfway last year, and I loved reading these to my children. My kids loved listening to them. And we do Bible as a group, like me and my kids together. They love to listen to them. We did that, and then we also used our character trait cards. We did the other 2 last year. These are the world version, and we did not get to these last year, so I'm going to add these into Bible as well. And then last but not least, one thing that I am planning on purchasing that I have not purchased yet, and it's just because I did a pretty large amount of ordering and purchasing so far, and I need to give my funds a little bit of a break right now. I just need to wait and order the not grass our 50 states curriculum. And that is something new. We haven't done a lot of geography study or geography at all in our homeschool. And I feel like it's been thrown in here and there with other subjects, but we just haven't done a lot of geography study. And I wanted a curriculum that was going to focus more on just geography. And I've been doing some research and I have really been liking what I'm seeing with Knotgrass. I'm also planning on using them for the upcoming years with history as well. And so I will be giving that a purchase probably a little bit after school has started, but I'm not in a rush to purchase that now. But I do want to show here what that Knotgrass curriculum looks like. So I will be purchasing that as well. So, yeah, guys, that is everything that my fifth grader will be using for this upcoming school year. I can't even believe my baby is going to be in fifth grade. This is his last year of elementary school, which is wild. I just can't even believe that. And then my other baby is going into preschool. So my next video that I will have come out is going to be her preschool video. So her curriculum picks for preschool. And some of the items will be repeats because some of these things we do as a group. And I just didn't find it necessary to do a whole group subject video because we don't do that many things together because there's such a big age gap between the two. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And also let me know in the comments down below if you guys have had any good experiences with any of these curriculum companies, if you like anything that I've shown, if you're interested, and also if you want me to do an in-depth flip through on any of these curriculum companies, I will be happy to do that. Just put it in the comments below. And thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.